Welcome to On the Prowl. I'm your host, Nyla Moore, and with me today is the coach of the Destrehan Wildcats, Coach Stephen Robicheaux. Thank you for joining us, Coach.
Thank you, Nye.
Coming up on today's show, Coach Robicheaux will break down last week's Jamboree game against the Lutcher Bulldogs, and we will get Coach to preview this week's season opening game against the Slidell Tigers. So, Coach, even though the Wildcats lost the game Friday night, do you feel like your team accomplished something?
Oh, definitely. You know, when you go against a team like Lutcher, you always your goal is to play the very best. And I thought we played well at times, but there's a lot of things we need to work on. I really believe that Lutcher has a very good football team. We need to just get better, learn from our mistakes. You know, we had a chance to go and win the game late. We couldn't get that done. That's the sign of an inexperienced team, and we got to be able to get that done throughout the season.
Coach, how do you feel about Christian Mosley opening up the game with a touchdown?
Well, that's a good start. You know,
Yeah.
whenever you can get a score on special teams, that's really good. And you know, Coach Wagersback and Coach Antilles does a phenomenal job with our special teams. And Christian only needs a crease because he's a real fast football player, and he's gotten better and better, and he's got so much speed. So when he gets a little bit of an open and goes, he's special.
Do you feel like your special teams will be a strength this season?
I think so. I think we got good players on special teams. I think we have good schemes. Our coaches do a good job, and the guys are buying into what we're trying to do. So, you know, when you have athletes like Christian, like we did John Williams last year, you know, and you got a guy like that and that can make it go, and then we'll get Mike Young back from injury. You know, he's pretty special too. So I think we have the players to be special on special teams.
You have a senior quarterback starting the season with a lot of experience. How is that an asset to your team?
You know, there's no doubt. Cohen has been tremendous for us. You know, he started the Superdome year 3 years ago. Last year went 11-1, and this year, you know, we think now he's ready to become the quarterback we think he can be. Just understands what Coach Boyne wants him to do as an offensive coordinator. Runs the offense, has command of the offense, got a real strong arm, can run the football. We're looking for big things from Cohen this year.
What are some of your concerns as you go into the 2016 season?
I think our biggest concern is inexperience on defense. We have to replace 9 starters on the defensive side of the ball. I think we have good players. I think it's just going to take time for us to come together as a squad. They've gotten better every day that we go out and practice. So I think if they continue to get better, I think the offense is going to be pretty good. So I think this could be a good year for us.
Let's take a look at the highlights.
As you alluded to, you know, and it's good to start the game off the way we did. Good blocking up front. Guys did a tremendous job. Christian saw the hole and hit it, and not too many people are going to catch him when he gets in the open. Kickoff. Kendrick Johnson does a good job of containing the guy, and Jay Stroud goes down and makes a great play. Our defensive tackle making a play on kickoff. That's pretty special. Jay Stroud, again, early in the game, getting to the quarterback. Does a good job forcing a bad pass. Going his Justin Jefferson. We think Justin's going to have a big year for us. He's really coming to his own. Big, tall, lanky receiver that can run. Carl Lewis, great job right here making a catch. And sophomore running back John Emery with a great run. Offensive line did a tremendous job blocking. Bradley Quinn comes in, kicks a clutch field goal for us. We got to have that on special teams. We're up 10-7. Defense, Jay Stroud again coming up, forcing a big fumble. Jay's had 4 sacks, forced fumble. He had a tremendous night. He's hard to block. Cohen doing a good job right here, getting the ball out. Great job by Cohen eluding the rush here. Picking up good blocking, good run, getting into the end zone. Christian Mosley finishing the drive. There's Jace again. Going ahead and Kendrick Lee right there for a big pickup, big first down for us. Kendrick Lee again on one of our seniors stepping up, making good plays. 2-point conversion goes to sophomore Quentin Tovar, who was uncovered. And there we are at halftime, 24-10. Jay Stroud with another big play with the rest. Jonathan Duhorn, guys gang tackling. Bryce Ciano with a great play in the backfield.
Coach, near the end of the game, what were your thoughts when your team fumbled midfield?
That happens. You know, it happens. You know, we were in a situation where we were up by 7 and we were running the ball. We were kind of, you know, jamborees are a way for you to work on things you need to really work on. So we came to the decision that we're going to try to run the football here and try to run the clock out. And, you know, we were doing a good job. We made 3 first downs and then all of a sudden we get coughed up. But, you know, that's going to happen. That's part of the game. You know, we got to do a better job of hanging on to the ball there and more so stopping the other team when they do get the ball back. But I was pleased at the effort. The game did not come down to that one play. But you know, when you're out there trying to run the clock out, and you know, you got to make that happen, and we just didn't get it done.
What are some ways you can improve your team so a last-minute turnover won't happen again?
Well, you know, we just do what we do. I mean, you know, like I said, we have an unbelievable coaching staff. They do a tremendous job. They work the kids hard every day, and then, you know, we work ball security constantly. And it's just one of those things that happens, and it's just part of the game. And you know, turnovers are always a big indication of who wins football games. And we had a costly one there. You know, the Lutcher had one earlier, fumble that gave us a touchdown. So it's a big problem, and you know, you got to try to make sure that you win in the turnover battle. And you know, we cough up the ball right there, and they score, and they win the game by 1. You know, we just got to be able to finish the game, control the ball. We just didn't get it done that night.
Are you worried about the play of your defense giving up 24 points to a good Lutcher team?
You know, giving up 24 against that team, you know, you always worry. You know, you wanted them not to score at all. But Lutcher's skilled guys are probably the best we're going to see the whole year, probably matching close to Hornbill right there. So they do a great job. Their receivers are probably better than anybody we're going to face receiver-wise. But they do a tremendous job, and I thought our guys held up pretty well. You know, if you know, it's we having a different conversation right now if we get the first down and we go on to win. But you know, we got to be able to do that. I thought our kids played hard. They did a good job. 25-24 against a real good Lutcher team. You know, I'll take that in the Jamboree. Yeah.
Thanks, Coach. Coming up, we'll get Coach to look ahead at this week's game against the Slidell Tigers. We'll be right back. Welcome back to On the Prowl. I'm your host, Nyla Moore. Coach, now that the Jamboree is over, how will your team prepare against this week for Slidell?
Well, they have a real good football team now. We got to really do a better job fundamentally. I thought, you know, the effort was there Friday night against Lutcher, but I think there's some fundamentally breakdowns that we need to really look at. We're going to work hard on those this week, get better as a football team. They're going to bring a squad in that's senior-lated as far as quarterback, similar to ours. Their receivers do a good job. They got a good running back, and defensively they're pretty stout. Last year we were very fortunate to go up early, and they had to come back, and they came back on us pretty good. So they moved the football against us last year, and we had a pretty good defense last year. So they're going to come in there. They're going to play hard. Coach Larry Favre does a tremendous job with that group of players, and they're going to give us all we want on Friday night, I can promise you.
Coach, how does your team prepare for a home game the first week of the season?
Well, it's something different. Every time you have a difference in this different football team, we started on away and then now we're home. It's a different routine. Hopefully the kids will react fine. I think we'll be fine. Being at home is probably a little bit better. You don't have to get on the road and bus ride and all that. So we'll do basically the same thing we did minus the bus ride, and I think our kids will react fine.
Since you mostly have returning players, how do you think the Wildcats will do this season?
Well, I really like the makeup of this football team. I think we have really good players on offense. I think we have really good players on defense. The only problem is, one guy played on the defense that had any kind of playing time last year with those guys last year. So I think we have good players. The problem is there's not a whole lot of experience. So until you see them on Friday night and see what they're going to do when the lights come on, you really don't know. I think our coaching staff, Coach Scott, does a tremendous job with our defense. I think we're going to be okay. It's just a matter of them getting some experience, and hopefully the offense can score some points while the defense gets a little bit of experience.
How do you see District 7 5A shaping up this year?
Well, District 5A is a really tough district. Obviously when you have teams like Hornbill, who's going to, I know Coach Salt has done an unbelievable job with that football team, and he's got those guys playing at a high level, so they're always going to be good. East St. John's got great players. Thibodeau's always good. It's always a war. Every week you go in and play, and then you have to go down to Bayou and play, and it's just really good competition, and it's what you really coach for, to be able to play in that competition. But I think it's going to be a good district. I think you're going to have to really get ready to play every Friday night and see how it ends up on the end.
Always a pleasure talking to you, Coach.
Thanks, I appreciate you.
And that will do it for this edition of On the Prowl. For updates on Press Play Productions, please check out our website at presstoplay.tv. I'm your host, Nyla Moore. Thanks for watching.